You did.
Listen, I got mad. All right.
You went off.
Okay. I don't
I'm
even
so.
know where to start with all this shit, man.
I love it when you do this. This is my favorite. I'm just like so lazy that I'm like,
Well, he doesn't care is the thing.
He'll
It's
figure it
totally useless, but also it's fun. I don't know. It's like an outlet to yell at Reno.
well, yeah.
He does actually care a lot, but he's blocked me on almost everything, so it's impossible for him to actually see what I'm saying. But on Twitter, he has not, for some reason yet, blocked this as false.
He clearly can't really identify with anything. Like, neither can we. But actually, I mean, I've lived outside many times, but
Yeah.
he definitely has never spent any time outside at all.
No. And I mean, like even with you, like I mean.
Oh yeah.
You know, the experience that we have, at least,
It's
being very close to people who
Yeah.
are on the street.
Yeah.
Like.
And I like when I was living outside, it wasn't like I was firmly aware of the lack of resources that were available to me at that time, but I still had things that I could rely on.
Yeah, you had family and sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't say that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what you have.
But no, I had other resources. I had friends in other cities that could help me if I could get to the other cities.
Yeah.
I was just not able to get to the other cities.
Yeah. Like, I paid part of my tuition for a couple of semesters by panhandling.
Yeah.
Taking my guitar downtown and, like, playing and doing whatever. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, I have a home to go home to at the end of the day. And,
Yeah, that's
and I
true.
have family who will support me. Like, if I need $1,000, I can call my grandmother and be like, hey, I'm fucked. I need $1,000.
Yeah.
And she'll give me the $1,000. It may not be easy for her to do, but she'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, and the only difference between me and someone who's on the street is that person on the street doesn't have that option.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, like,
the guy that I was talking to yesterday was like, I would like to be able to call my family. Like, they try to help when they can, but they don't have anything either because
it's
of,
usually generational
poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always am so quiet,
You can make it sound. Yeah, you're very soft spoken even when you are close to the mic.
which
so
is
it's-
weird because
Yeah.
outside I'm not.
What did Kate say to me one day, that like you have like the sweetest, like you have this like very sweet voice, but that you say like, the most fucked up things with that voice.
Oh man, if she could see inside my head, if they could see inside my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that a lot too. I get that I'm very like even toned. It's funny because
Yeah,
like
you
people.
have a very like nice, comforting voice.
This is what I'm told. Yeah.
Yeah, but
what's-
you are so fucked.
Oh God, it's so. Yeah, I mean, I think people know that now.
Yeah,
Yeah, from listening to this probably.
that's fair.
More than before. But it's always funny to hear like I'll meet someone in real life that I'd only known on Facebook or something,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "Wow, you're so like I didn't expect you to be so like nice and like even keeled." I'm like, why not? I'm like, well, because you're such an asshole on Facebook all the time. And I'm like,
That's a good point.
okay, I guess, but like,
You're such a piece of shit.
all right. I say fuck a lot. I know that gets people going, but like, I don't know. I was raised in a house where that was every third word. It's just.
I say
It's my
fuck a lot
vernacular.
because, you know, life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of F-bombs.
It does. It does require a lot of fuck bombs.
So, this is like, I find this is hard to get into because there's so much to talk about right now.
Dude, there's so much to talk about. I haven't even really been able to keep up on the U.S. election stuff.
Yeah, like we were going to record yesterday, and then
Oh.
Ev was firing at both ends.
It
So.
was so bad. It was so fucking bad.
Not COVID, don't worry anybody.
No, not COVID. But, like, I gotta just tell you, I just want to do a little quick PSA here. I won't get into too much detail this time. But, man.
Well, they didn't hear the last time you got into details,
All right,
so it's okay.
Yeah, that didn't come to air. That's good. It wasn't period shits this time. It was definitely food poisoning of some sort. And I assure you, okay, you may play it fast and loose with the it'll be okay on the counter for a bit. It's not.
Don't do it.
It's not okay on the
No,
counter
it's
for a
not
bit.
okay on the counter.
Yeah, don't do it.
Like pizza, like I get
Pizza,
mad at.
whatever. I'm an 80s
Yeah.
kid. That shit goes
That's
in the
different.
oven and then you just
Yeah.
fucking store it there and then you eat it. But
Yeah.
if you go and get Chinese food that has shrimp in it,
Oh God, shrimp! Don't fuck with shrimp, man.
don't be a fucking idiot. I forgot there was shrimp in it, man.
You
I was
can
like,
kind of fuck with chicken and
yeah.
beef and
I was
shit,
like,
but
it's
like,
all chicken and broccoli beef. It's gonna be fine. And I forgot about the stupid fucking
it's the shrimp.
Szechuan shrimp.
That's what did it.
Yeah.
You can't leave shrimp. Shrimp's got to be like near freezing all the time. Or
I
it's
was legit
terrible.
eating it in the dark, and then I'm like taking bites, and I'm like, we got shrimp? And then I was like,
Oh, and then you're just like, you had this flashback to Dick throwing up. You're like,
Yeah.
well, I know what's in my future.
yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Well, at least you didn't get like, because like I had food poisoning in January, and I thought I was gonna die. Like I legitimately, it was chicken. It was chicken that had like been mislabeled by one of the food delivery companies. They treated me well, so I'm not gonna out them. They
fair.
hooked me up
That's
after
fair.
I got sick. They made sure that I was gonna keep being their customer. But
Oh, yeah. Or at least not tell the world about
Yeah.
how shitty they are.
Yeah.
That'll kill a company real fast.
And I knew it wasn't like something that they could control. It's a fluky thing, right? But man, I got so sick. I was like, this is back in January, and I just like, oh man, I couldn't breathe. Like when you get like the salmonella poisoning and you get like shortness of breath.
Yes, my friend.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've never been that sick in my life, and
Yeah,
it lasted
it's-
for 4 days.
Oh, God. That's at least mine was just a little warm shrimp.
Oh God.
I can't. I'm like, and I'm laying in bed, like trying to figure out which end needs a bucket. And I was like, sorry. And I'm laying in bed and being like, you fucking stupid idiot. Like,
Oh, you said
You're gonna be okay,
waited until I
Travis.
had the water in my mouth.
it was bad. It was bad.
But I think this is good. Not that you got sick, but that we didn't record until today. Today being Thursday, the 5th of November.
Yes, yes.
Gunpowder, treason, and
Yes.
plot, or whatever. Obligatory.
I was waiting. I was like, who of us is,
Can't.
which of us is going to say it first?
Cannot. But I'm glad we waited because like I feel like 24 hours of decompression time
probably a
regarding
good
what we
thing.
saw yesterday. And we're not talking about the election, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's not even.
You might easily be thinking to yourself, oh, they're talking about the election.
And you wouldn't be wrong to think that.
It's part of it, but really not at the same time.
We're going to tell you a story. It's going to be.
Yeah. Well, you want to do the election first?
Yeah, I was just about to open my Google. My
Yeah.
Google.
Well, because they. So, I mean, we don't have to get too deep into this because everybody's following this. It's not like we're breaking news to anyone.
No, we're
But my favorite part of it all, I just want to say quick, is that, like, because Biden looks like he's probably going to just fucking barely eke that out. And I'm talking, like, he might have exactly 270 electoral votes.
yeah.
And his share of the popular vote, I think, is going down compared to Hillary. But
Yep.
people are framing this like it's an actual victory for the Democrats and Joe Biden.
Oh, okay, no. No, this is embarrassing for them.
Oh my God.
This is-
A party that's used to embarrassment
yeah.
might have had their biggest embarrassment yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even if Biden scrapes by, Trump's not gonna stand for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of those votes are so fucking close.
It's ridiculous. They were all like 49 point whatever to
Yeah, to
like
49 points, something less than that.
yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah.
And Trump is now suing a couple of states for them to stop counting votes.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, and I mean the thing is that's going to end up in the Supreme Court where
It
we know
absolutely
where
will.
that's going to go. So
Yeah.
like this is how they steal elections.
This is absolutely how they
And if
steal.
Biden had won in a blowout, they wouldn't be able to do it.
No, but it's so fucking close that there's a really possible like chance that Trump might stay in power.
And like
Even if Biden actually wins, Trump he might refuse to leave office.
even if Biden wins and he takes office,
It's not
what
getting
does
any
this
better.
say? What does this say about like
Yeah.
we were so convinced that we just get people to go and vote. Okay, well, people voted in record numbers. It didn't really change the result.
Yeah,
What
but
does
even-
that say about your country?
Yeah. Not only that, but even when Biden's in office, he's just like marginally better in the short term.
Well, so I was listening to Bad Faith today, which is a great podcast. Brianna Joy Gray and Virgil Texas from Chapo. People listen
Okay, yeah,
to Chapo,
yeah.
but and it's like a more political wonky style show, but they have like really good guests and shit on.
Yeah.
Today it was just the two of them talking about the election results, and Brianna Joy Gray was talking about how so the black vote, they always, when the Democrats are like, well, vote for us because you have to, even though they get offered nothing in return, went like every single like person of color voting bloc
Yep.
went more toward Trump this time than in 2016.
Yep.
For black men, it was up 4%. For black women, it was up 4%. For Latino men, it was up like 9%. For Latino women, it was up like 6%. Significant swings to Trump amongst
Latino
the very
to
people.
Trump? Latino 9% to Trump?
Yeah, that's not terribly surprising because there's a lot of white Latinos who are very
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially in Florida, right, where there's a lot of Cubans and they're all like family of
yeah.
slave owners
Yeah.
from Cuba, you know,
Yeah.
so they don't really like the
The Miami Cubans freak me
God.
right out, man.
yeah.
They're so fucked.
Yeah, they're so fucked up.
Yeah.
But like all that, she was saying like you know, the fact that the black vote, the Latino vote, whatever, is sort of just assumed to be democratic.
Yes.
Is part of the fucking issue. If you don't offer people anything, and a lot of people look at it and go, Joe Biden, and this is true. This is absolutely true. Joe Biden has done more to hurt black people than Donald Trump could in his entire life. Which is saying something because they're both shitty. But consider that Biden was like a segregationist. Consider that he voted for the crime bill. Consider that he eulogized Strom fucking Thurmond.
Yeah.
Like,
And the crime bill was a huge blunder. And at least Trump is like open about how much he hates black people.
but he also like, you know, you could argue that especially amongst like the middle class black vote,
Yeah.
which has a larger percentage than they ever have,
That's true.
they are more likely to not vote for Biden at the very least, and maybe vote for Trump to say fuck you to Biden and the Democrats because of the crime bill, because they probably have family and like friends that have been affected by that. Maybe they themselves have been affected by that.
Yeah.
And like, they just don't offer anything to anyone.
No.
It's like, vote for us because we're not fascists.
That's their only
only fucking thing.
Is that they're like, vote for us, otherwise it's Trump.
Yeah, and Brianna Joy Gray is fond of saying, and I agree with her, that politics is about persuasion. It's not about tribalism. It's about persuasion.
Yeah.
You have to persuade people to vote for you. You have to give them something. You have to, like, actually give them a reason to vote for you. And Biden and the Democrats just don't fucking do that.
No, they absolutely don't.
They say, well, we're not Trump.
Yeah.
That's it.
Their campaigning is like so lacking, because that's all it is that it's not Trump.
Yeah. And, like, if only there was a candidate at some point that the Democrats might have ran that might have maybe done better at all these things.
Yeah, well, done as good as he or she could, without you know, he's still a politician, but
yeah,
he would have been the better choice for a lot of people, the majority of people
who would have like turned Pennsylvania, Ohio, possibly even Indiana, Georgia, North Carolina in favor of the Democrats.
Yeah.
Because he polled very well in all these places all the time.
And they all feel the burn, man.
Yeah. Bernie would have won.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep.
2 times now.
2 times.
Like, you got your guy, Democrats, liberals, you got your guy, you got your campaign, and
you fucked it up.
Maybe barely fucking worked.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Will they learn anything from this?
Of course they won't. No.
Oh my God.
And when you pick a black cop as your VP for like, and you're trying to, and it goes the opposite way of that you wanted it, of the way that you wanted it.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to be progressive by, you know, getting someone of color on your campaign and in a seat.
Yeah.
But you've still chosen a cop.
Yeah. You're just playing identity politics. You're not.
Yeah. And it's so transparent.
You're not attentive to the fact that Kamala Harris got like her ass kicked by Andrew Yang in California.
That's because Andrew Yang is dope.
Well, I mean, he's a billionaire, so you can only get so dope. But
we have to take what we can get right now in politics.
But I mean, the fact that like a little known guy with no political experience wiped the floor with Kamala Harris amongst black people.
Yeah. That's fucked.
Right? I mean, black people fucking hate Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but
of course they do. The people who know
Biden
who she
is. Biden is so not in touch with anything that he's like, oh, she's black and a woman.
Yeah.
This will be great.
People who are familiar with her politics in California, they fucking knew.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God damn it.
She's such a piece of shit.
And she's going to end up being president because Biden's either going to die in the next 2 years or his faculties are going to erode to such a degree that it has to that he steps down.
And he'll have to take the man, woman, person, TV, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The test.
Yeah. The one
So
that Trump
fun.
did.
Yeah.
That was really easy.
I made T-shirts out of that. And then
Which one is the rhinoceros?
Yeah. And then I
I
had
passed the flying colors.
his signature on the bottom of it. His ridiculous signature.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even like he's already said that he's probably not going to run in 4 years. So the Democrats are just like, this was their guy, right? This is the fucking guy that they literally kneecapped Bernie for.
Yeah.
And he's not even going to fucking run with the incumbent advantage? Like, oh my god. Have fun with the Republican fucking presidency in 4 years.
It's going to be so fucking bad.
And then, like, also, they didn't, like, I don't know the latest numbers on this, but they are not going to control Senate. Mitch McConnell and the Republicans are still going to control the Senate. They were so fucking confident they were going to switch the Senate. So they still have no fucking power. It's remarkable.
Republicans are definitely going to control the Senate because they're at 48 right now and you need 51 for majority.
I can't. I mean, whatever. This is American politics, but it does have such a profound effect
Absolutely.
on us here that, like,
Canada is we're right up their ass. Like we are going to feel it big time.
and I mean, it has implications for how our politics go because we only ever frame anything culturally or politically in American terms.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, if you think the conservatives aren't taking lessons from Trump and implementing them,
Absolutely.
that's what they're doing. We've already seen it
course.
happen. They've taken over almost all the provinces at this point.
Look at Doug Ford.
Yeah. Look at Jason Kenney. Look at
Yeah.
Legault in Quebec and the guy from New Brunswick. These fucking...
They're Trump minis.
Yeah, like... I don't know. If only the left would take the same examples, take the same things that we can learn from people like Trump and how they interpolate people, how they get people to care about what they're caring about.
Yeah, if we would stop trying to just win people over on our ethics.
Yeah, or be like, well, yeah, but we're not racist, even though it's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Justin Trudeau's not racist. Mr. Blackface,
Justin
Not
Trudeau's
racist?
so fucking racist.
Mr. Pipelines through Indigenous land, Mr. fucking like.
That guy is such a mess. He's such a mess. Oh my god.
But the NDP, we have the same problem here at the NDP. They don't offer anything concrete.
The NDP are orange liberals at this point.
And even when they do sort of veer into like good politics, like
Yeah.
I'll admit I like Jagmeet Singh. I think he's got.
Oh, I
like-
love that guy.
Yeah.
But he's also not gonna do anything of substance.
Why aren't they coming out here right now with like real shit?
I don't know.
Like pharmacare, dental care,
Yeah.
high-speed rail. Like Sandy and Nora talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
High-speed rail across the country.
Yeah.
High-speed internet for everyone in the country. Like, why aren't they coming out here and with
Internet
these more
should be
with these
deemed an
bolder
essential
things?
service at this point.
Yeah, making it a public utility. Why isn't the NDP? They're in a position where they actually can affect some of this shit right
Yeah.
now.
And that would be a big step for them.
Yeah.
Even just the internet thing. That would be a huge step. Dental care would also be huge.
Yeah.
Because all of our teeth are just falling out of our heads because it's so fucking expensive.
Maybe this is a time to I don't want to say too much about this yet, but we're gonna have potentially a third This Is False host, regular host.
VV excited.
Me too, because I
VVV.
love this person. I know you don't know. You don't know him.
I don't know him, but I'm really pumped.
But he's spent years organizing within the NDP.
Perfect.
And you know him and I have had a lot of talks about like, yo, that party you're involved with, like, what the fuck? Why don't they?
What the actual fuck, man?
And he agrees, right?
Yeah.
And he's
That's
more
good.
he's a little bit more of a, like, he's definitely like a better, like, wonky political mind than either of us do.
Yep.
Which will be handy, you know. But yeah, we're gonna bring him on. I'm hoping next week, but I gotta talk to him more to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out and and figure out how everything, like the dynamic, will work and everything like that.
Yeah, and pretty sure he'll be here likely, but we can figure that out. Oh, my phone's ringing. It's AJ.
How dare you not turn that on silent? AJ, what are you doing?
What do you want all the time? Oh, right, I was supposed to call him yesterday. Sorry, bud. I'll call you back later. He listens, so he's gonna hear this. I don't leave that in.
Fucking AJ.
Yeah, I was supposed to call him yesterday, but it went a little haywire. So there's a good segue. AJ just provided us with our segue.
That is a perfect segue. Thank you, AJ. I take it back.
So, we had a day. We personally, and in Windsor, our local thing, we had a day yesterday.
It was a fucking day.
So, what did we do at 6 a.m.? What happened?
Okay.
What did we start doing at 6 a.m.?
So 6 a.m., Travis and I roll up after we get our gigantic coffees.
Yeah, you more gigantic than me. But yeah.
Well, you gotta have that espresso. Anyway,
This
so
was like a triple shot and a coffee or something.
yeah,
You psycho.
I don't fuck around. I wonder why I have anxiety. Anyway, we roll up to the parking lot right outside of one of the homeless encampments in Windsor.
Yeah, the Rail Cut. We can say where it is now.
Well, yeah,
fully
everybody
because-
knows. We've been talking
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
been everywhere.
Yeah. So we rolled up because yesterday was the eviction date for the residents of the homeless encampment in Windsor. And we were waiting for everything to show up, the cops and the city workers, and make sure that they knew that we were watching them, holding them accountable. And we basically just wanted to be kind of sticky and annoying so that we could slow them down a little bit. 'Cause these people have nowhere to go. So around, 7:30, the city tractors started showing up?
Yeah, it was like almost 9 before they actually started doing shit.
Yeah.
I lost track of time, though, to be
So
honest.
did I.
Completely,
and
but...
the cops, they always show up last because they got to finish their donuts and stuff in the morning before they can get
Actually,
out there.
bylaw showed up last this time.
Was it bylaw?
Because
that showed
bylaw
up
has
last?
to initiate it. Yeah,
Huh.
so they were waiting for bylaw to show up. That's why they were kind of waiting there at first.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I was already inside at that point.
Oh, you were already inside. Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, we were trying to do our thing, be annoying wobblies, and so
And to help the folks, physically help them move out of their homes.
yeah,
These are their homes. They're
Yeah.
not homes like we have, but they
They're
were,
still
for better or worse, they're homes.
So the cops showed up, first one car, then two, then six, then 8. And then at
Yeah.
some point we had, I don't know, it was between 8 and 10 cop cars there.
Yeah, there was 12 at my count at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, yesterday was such a shit show that
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to...
So you were inside. So
Yeah.
we basically had this plan. We had 5 wobblies there at first, and we had 2 of us were going to stand on the outside and confront the cops when they first got there. 2
Yep.
were going to go up onto the bridge and sort of survey from up there, and then you were going to go in the camp when the cops arrived.
To let them know that the cops are here and you gotta...
You're gonna
on the
get
double.
ready.
Yeah.
And then our plan was the 2 of us on the outside. We were going to come in. We were going to follow the cops in and essentially just
Yeah.
observe them, right?
Yeah. Which did not go according to plan.
No, they immediately told us that if we took another step that we would be charged for trespassing. And at first I thought, okay, they got to say that. And so I was taking live video at the time, and I went to walk in, and big baldy McFuckface cop,
I hate him so much.
Williams, I think his name is.
Williams, you motherfucker.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
So he pushed me against that little brick wall there a little bit, not hard. It wasn't hurting
No,
or anything,
no.
but he.
But go
just-
fuck yourself, still.
Yeah, he put his hands on me and was like, "Seriously, we're going to arrest you if you
Yeah.
take another step." And it's okay, that was a real threat.
Yeah.
And then I heard the sergeant say, if they take another step, get them on trespassing.
Yep.
So, so we just sort of stood down and then watched them clear a path with a bulldozer into
Yeah.
this place without going, they did. They sent about a dozen cops in,
Yeah.
and family services, some of them were in there, family services workers.
Some of them weren't allowed to
Some of them
enter.
weren't alled in. They were also told they were going to be charged with trespassing. And
Yeah,
then
which is
you
so
were
fucked up.
promptly kicked out.
Yeah, so
It took 8 seconds for you to be kicked out.
yeah, so I was inside when they got there, and then I was doing a live stream, and then I decided to go to the front to meet the cops, and then as I was walking, I was like, that's a terrible idea, because it doesn't sound like it's going well over there. So then I turned around to walk back, and the cops are like, hey. And so I was talking to him while still walking towards the encampment. But he Baldy McFuckface got really upset with me and said that I needed to leave and da-da-da-da-da, otherwise I was going to be charged with trespassing. And I was asking him adamantly for the eviction notice
Yeah.
Like I needed to see something
Was
in
the
writing.
proof from the company that this is actually something they empowered?
Yeah, and I asked him that about 6,000 times, or 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
and he said we don't have it. We'll worry about that later. And I'm like, really? We'll worry about that later?
That's how that works.
We're just doing our jobs. Yeah, your job is a fucking sham.
I love when they say that because it's like, I mean, it's sort of rot at this point to like be like, yeah, that's what the Nazis said, but it's what the Nazis said.
It's literally
like,
what the Nazis
just,
said.
Like I just don't fucking understand
we'll
why
sort
that's
it
a
out
defense.
later.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're just doing our job.
Yeah.
Following orders.
We'll sort it out later. Don't worry, we got this. Fuck you. So anyway, they're kicking me out, and then I started getting angry and asking them why they don't want me in there. What I should have said was I fucking live here. That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
But I clearly don't live there.
Well, I don't know that you clearly don't live there. That's how do they fucking know?
Well, they've got these assumptions that they have in place.
And they also have had enough of a presence down there that they know who does live down there. They're familiar with the faces, and you weren't one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also I've spoken to a lot of people there that say, and so have you, that say that they're there every night harassing them.
Yeah, the pop unit. We've talked about the pop unit on this podcast
Yeah,
before.
fuck the pop unit.
Problem-oriented police that are for the downtown problem people, and AKA
The problem creating police.
Yeah, the undercover unit that or the plainclothes unit, I should say. They're not really undercover, but the plainclothes unit that literally their entire fucking job is to harass the poor. That's their entire job. That's why they were established.
That's their entire unit's purpose.
Thank you, Rino. Big on that one, he was.
Yeah.
Big on that one.
Fucking cunt. Anyway, so I swiftly got kicked out of there. And then I decided that I didn't want to just be outside of there. So then you guys stayed to yell at the cops and be general
assholes,
troublemakers.
Yeah.
I love you guys. It's the most hilarious shit.
Like it really is a very empowering feeling to repeatedly tell cops that they are like
Useless.
pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And that they should go fuck themselves.
It makes you feel really good.
You can't get arrested for that. I mean,
No,
they
you
might,
can't.
if you're in a certain situation, they could arrest you and pretend it was for something else. But you can't get arrested for telling a cop to fuck off. You can tell them to go fuck their mother and they can't do shit to you. And it's very fun to do.
You can literally act like their supervisor, and that one's my favorite because I'm always shorter than the cops. And then I'm looking up at them being like,
I want to speak to your manager.
what time did you take your break today? How long did your break last? I need you to give me a formal report on my desk. And it's anyway, so this is what I'm doing with my life. We're doing a good job.
Yeah, sure.
So,
I guess
yeah.
we're very ineffective in this.
We're always ineffective.
Well, because I
but
mean,
we're
like they
gonna
have
keep
the
doing
guns and shit.
They have the guns.
And we didn't have enough people. Like, listen, I'm not
had
blaming.
5.
I'm not blaming anyone. I know everybody's busy. It's early in the morning. But if we had fucking 60 people down there,
We could have
They
stopped
would
that.
not have been able to do what they were going to do.
Yeah, they could have stopped. We could
We
have
could have
stopped
stopped it. We had fucking 5 people.
This
so
is
we
why-
couldn't stop shit.
Yeah, and this is why we need to stop. We're shadow banned, so
Yeah, we can't fucking promote
organizing
anything
is
anywhere.
really difficult. But
We have to do it through our personal accounts and just link the podcast somehow, because like our podcast is completely shadow banned.
yeah, it is.
On almost every social media platform. Instagram actually has been good so
Okay.
far. We've
Good.
been able to get some traction there, but
maybe I'll post some of the live videos to that.
yeah.
I'm having
and
a-
RSM, the Revolutionary Student Movement in Windsor here.
Yeah.
They're I think it's rsm.windsor.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay.
They did take more video. Bree, who's also
Yeah.
a wobbly, they
Yeah.
they took some video and put it up, and really like that was good.
Also-
And they get a lot more. They seem to get a lot more interaction. So
Yeah. Also, shout out to Bree for being so rad. That was like the first time
Bree's
I've actually
great.
had a chance to
Yeah.
talk to them. And also shout out to Star for getting a
Oh my
motherfucking
God.
U-Haul van.
Yeah, we'll
there.
get to that because
Yeah.
that was later. But
Yeah, but anyway, so I went up on the embankment because in the rail cut it's like 2 hills on each side of it. So it's kind of just like a ravine. So I went up to the other side and I was able to get a really good vantage point from there and see all of the bullshit that was going down. I was able to talk to one of the residents there, Seth, to make sure that things were all good. I was really concerned about him because he's not going quietly.
No.
He's he
Rightfully so.
absolutely. He definitely didn't want to give up his home, and his encampment is dope.
Yeah.
Like
him and Daryl, they like, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of them down there were a lot more like, I think people probably have an idea of what they think this looked like down there. And there was a lot of garbage on the other side of the pathway, but were there camps where it was like almost always kept pretty clean?
every time I went in there was someone sweeping up
Yeah.
so that they're
It doesn't matter. They could be dirty as hell. It wouldn't matter. But
no,
like,
it doesn't matter. But
just the fact that I think people have a perception of what that might have looked like down there,
And
and
I
it's
think-
it's
yeah.
wrong. I guarantee you, it's not what you think.
that's why we need to talk about how things like that. Like it's fundamentally, I believe, I don't give a fuck if it's super messy and
Yeah.
you're creating garbage.
It would be understandable.
It would be understandable. However, given that so many people have complained about like it's so dirty and so garbagey down there,
Mm-hmm.
like first of all, they have no resources for waste disposal.
No.
They have nothing.
In fact, they've been asking the city for months to provide a dumpster so they can keep
Yeah.
their shit, like up in the parking lot at the top of the embankment.
Yeah.
Like if there was one up there, we would use it.
And secondly, when the police come in or bylaw comes in and starts cutting people's tents and destroying everything, where are they supposed to put all that stuff?
Yeah.
Because it's the city that is creating the garbage down there
Yeah.
by not letting them have any sort of waste disposal and by coming down there and turning their homes into garbage.
Yeah. They literally took a bulldozer and just like
Oh
like,
yeah.
bulldozed their fucking homes with all their belongings in it and
Yeah.
gave them, like, I know they knew since Saturday, but again, if you're homeless, what's your plan? There's no like, oh,
Yeah.
get out by Wednesday. Okay, and
And
go
not only
where?
that,
Where am I taking my shit? How am I getting it there?
Yeah, but not
Like,
only that, you have to deal with the mental impact that it has. It's like if you and I were told that someone's coming in 5 days, 4 days, sorry, to just destroy our homes and
Mm-hmm.
we have to just be gone. You have 4 days to process that. With
yeah.
like what?
And figure out what you're gonna do with all your shit.
Figure out what you're gonna do. Figuring out why the fuck this is happening.
Yeah.
Like why?
Do they have a right to?
Yeah.
Who can help me?
Exactly. And
throw
you
on
and
that
I,
they have we have resources.
yeah, I was gonna say you and I have resources and we have cell phones. We have people we can call.
Mm-hmm.
These people do not.
No, they got nothing.
No.
They don't have they can't put their shit in their car.
No.
Or get a friend to get a truck down there.
Yeah.
And then where do they take their shit?
Yeah.
They don't have anywhere.
Yeah. There's nowhere because the city has provided zero viable options for them.
Yeah. So that was a shit show. The cops were, and so eventually what happened was like much later in the day, there was a few people from Angels for the Homeless, and they've been around for a long time, kind of keeping in touch with people down there and
Yeah,
helping
I
people
don't know
out.
about them very much.
I think I don't know if they're a registered nonprofit, but they're just like community members,
Is
basically.
that the folks that we were talking to up on the
The
embankment
women,
after?
yeah, they're mostly women.
Yeah.
I think they're all women actually that are.
Oh,
the
they were
main-
super nice.
Yeah, so and they were like going down into the encampment, which we were told we weren't allowed to do.
In fact, I got told when I was up on the embankment, I was told that I was trespassing. So
Yeah.
I had already asked another officer to tell me where the property line was, and he said, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
so
so
how
I
can I
said,
be
okay,
trespassing? You
yeah.
don't even fucking know where it is.
So then later when Baldy McFuckface started pointing me out and got a couple of his bros to come up there and tell me that I was trespassing, I said, fucking prove it.
yeah, where's the line?
Where's the line? He said, oh, it's there at the CBC parking lot.
No, it's
Which
not.
is, there's no way
a
it
street
is.
there. There's a street in between there.
Yeah, exactly.
The street
There's
is
no
definitely
way.
not private property.
So I said, you're just trying to keep me out so that I can't film. And he was like, you can film. I was like, yeah, this will do a lot of good. I can film these lovely dying bushes
Yeah.
at the top here.
That's all they cared about. They also
Yeah.
weren't letting the media in.
Yeah.
I found out that the media wanted to come down and the cops told them no.
What the fuck?
They weren't
I
allowed
didn't
in.
hear about that.
All of it was because we had our phones out. That was what it was. Because
Yeah,
when those
absolutely
women
it
were
was.
going down and helping, they didn't have their phones out and they were allowed right in.
Of course.
And so I started to go in, and by this point my phone was dead.
Yeah, you had no.
So I think you had left by this point, but I was going in to help, like literally help
no,
people
I was still
move
there
their belongings.
then. I was watching you go in.
Yeah. And the bylaw officer and another cop like tried to stop me. They were like, "Hey, where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going down to fucking help.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to get arrested if I do that? Like, what is the problem here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to help." And they're like, "Okay." And then I
Yeah.
went down, and every fucking time I passed a cop from that point on, they were like, "Why are you here? Why are you here? Who let you in?" And I got to the point where I was like, "Just fucking arrest me then. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I fucking dare you to do it."
Yeah.
I'm literally dragging people's shit through the mud to these unbelievable people who are providing their own fucking vehicles.
Yeah.
Including family services workers. Shout out to Dino from Family Services using his own fucking truck.
Yeah.
To take people's shit to storage.
The family service workers were amazing.
Amazing. And these Angels for the Homeless people, awesome.
Amazing.
They arranged housing.
Yeah.
They did. They went and talked to people at a fucking what used to be a student residence. I used to live in it years ago. It's a total shithole, but it is marginally better than a camp.
It has heating.
It has heating and beds.
Yeah.
And like arranged it so that they could get them in there before they got their ODSP checks approved.
Yeah.
And get their shit in there to store. That was all the Angels for Homeless people.
And that was an uphill battle the whole time.
Right up until we were dragging shit into that building.
Yeah.
They were telling us that the stuff could go in, but the people couldn't.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck that. You just made us put all their shit in here, and now you're going to lock the door?
Yeah.
They don't even have a tent anymore.
Yeah.
So where the fuck are they going to go? And then finally they let them in.
Out of their kindness of their own hearts.
But like the cops literally sat, there's fucking 2,000 of them down there the whole time. They sat and watched as like women in their fucking 50s and 60s.
Yep.
And like the rest of us were dragging shit up this dangerous mud staircase.
Yeah, I have a ton of footage of that too.
And the cops are just sitting there. Standing there watching us do it.
Talking to each other.
While a bulldozer goes by and literally just wipes out people's belongings.
Yep.
Fucking firefighters came down there at one point.
Oh, yeah. So the cops called the firefighters because there were some small fires.
Which there always are.
There always are because they have to eat and they have to cook and they have to stay warm. So they called the fire department in like a bunch of fucking assholes. Fire department comes in and sprays down the fires with this fire retardant so that they can't be started up again. And then because there was still some smoke, they brought in their big water hose and started spraying down the fires and people's shit.
Yeah.
They started spraying down the fires and a bunch of people's stuff got wet.
Yeah, after you left, there was a woman down there who was sobbing.
Yeah.
Because her fucking clothes were soaked.
Oh my God.
And she didn't have anywhere to go or anywhere to put them. She didn't get into this housing unit. Not all of them did. Not all of them did because it was impossible for some people to like to get the applications filled out and make sure they had the money.
Yeah.
They were only letting people on ODSP who have their rent check guaranteed.
Yeah. And those rooms are $500 a month for a small room.
They're a shoebox, and they have the same shitty mattresses in them that I fucking slept on 17 years ago, and they were shit then.
God.
Like, I know that these are people used to sleeping on the literal ground.
But they're still humans, and they deserve a freaking... I can
find $500 a month.
Because I have a student card, I can go get a really nice room with a nice mattress for $350 a month because I have a student card.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with this? This is so fucked up.
Like I'm sitting there with this woman who's sobbing because her fucking clothes, the only possessions she has, are ruined because the fucking police and the firefighters decided that they didn't give a fuck.
Oh, they did not
about their shit.
That's so disgusting. I'm like, this is why we shouldn't have recorded yesterday and we waited till today. But now I'm all fired up again.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've been fired up
feel
the whole
fucking
time.
Sick to my stomach, and it's not shrimp. It's cops.
Maybe it was always the cops.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe the shrimp is not the culprit.
It's Baldy McFuckface.
Okay, so we're at 41 minutes, and I want to spend a decent amount of time here talking about the sort of... Because that's sort of the acute micro level, this is what happened on the fucking ground shit. Let's talk about the macro shit. Let's talk about the city's role in this. Let's talk about why the fuck they're doing this now.
Yeah.
And what the implications of all that are.
Yeah. And keep in mind, it's November 5th, so this happened on November 4th.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still fucking tired from lugging people's shit out of the mud.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely stayed a lot later than I did. I had to go home and eat, which turned out to be a horrible idea.
Yeah. It turned out that was a bad idea. Yeah. Should have stayed.
Yeah, I really should have. Anyway.
I mean, I don't know. I ended up fucking being there till like 3:00, and I was so exhausted.
Ugh.
It was bad. But yeah, shout out just before we move on from that. Shout out to the Angels for Homeless.
Yep.
For fucking like putting their shit on the line, bringing their personal cars down, making sure people had a place to go when the city completely abandoned them.
Was that not two people from OPS?
Oh, so yeah, sorry. Also, Windsor Overdose Prevention Society. They're kind of like, I don't know. I think Lacey is kind of in both of those things.
Okay, because I know that it wasn't a Windsor OPS initiative. I know that wasn't the case.
No, but it was Tammy Drew and Lacey from from Windsor OPS that originally found the place,
Right.
and made sure that the applications were filled out, and literally sat down there for hours of people filling out applications.
Yeah.
For hours. Not the fucking city. So when
No.
you see the goddamn media saying that the city found them housing,
That's bullshit.
that didn't fucking happen.
Yeah, that's a lie.
And shout out to Star Malash, who we'll eventually have on this podcast, 100%.
Love you so much, Star.
She's in Toronto in quarantine right now, and she fucking rented a U-Haul and had her partner Mike, another amazing person, drive the U-Haul van over so that there was extra places to put shit to take it over to the new residents.
Yep. That's amazing.
Out of her own fucking pocket.
Yeah.
Mike at a time out of his own day.
Yep.
And then like again, people stepped the fuck up.
Yeah, they did.
The city did not.
They didn't do anything. They didn't provide any viable options for anyone. The Baldy McFuckface at one point told me that they have what was it? They have beds on Elmer?
Safe beds on Elmer, which I asked the family services. I asked
Nobody
Brandon
knows
Bailey
about
from
that.
OPS. Nobody's ever heard of that shit.
Yeah, that guy's making that up.
He's either making it up or it's something he heard once 2 years ago that may or may not still exist. It might be like 2 fucking beds or some shit.
Yeah. He's so full of shit. Anyway, yeah,
Whatever.
the city did nothing.
They did
other
nothing.
Than they sent in bylaw, the cops, and the city workers, and
Yeah.
that's all they did. They didn't
They didn't
try
even
to...
sit this like the city workers weren't even that was all a private company.
Oh, so they just hired a private company to
They
do it.
hired a private company. Probably because they're probably charging the owners of the property to do that.
Yeah.
So it was a private company. The only city workers down there were bylaws and police.
Yeah.
That's it.
We need to send those videos to the company.
And family services, I thought they were city workers. They're not.
Yeah.
I was corrected last night. They're a non-profit that's funded mostly by the United Way and the province of Ontario.
Right.
So the city did literally fucking nothing. So when Reno, that motherfucker, when we read that Kim Klein statement, where
Yep.
it was clearly just Reno talking.
It was definitely Reno talking.
When the city's doing all we can, horse shit.
No.
Horse shit.
And at the same time, the Drudelkins is honoring the police for building a diverse community.
Yeah.
And,
literally
and
giving them an award at the same fucking time this is happening.
literally the same time, like a couple of kilometers away. And
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was so unbelievably ridiculous. And the city didn't even think to, send the cops in with a written notice saying this is what's happening.
They didn't expect to meet any resistance. They
No,
thought
they
they're
didn't.
homeless people. Who gives a fuck about them?
Exactly.
And there were people there who gave a fuck about them.
Yeah.
And tried to challenge them on their shit.
And they didn't know. They didn't know what to do. So they just kept on going with the
if there was
bullshit.
60 to 100 people down there stopping them,
They would have stopped.
They would not have done it.
They would have stopped.
They might have eventually done it, but it would have been a fucking pain in the ass for them.
And we would
it
have
would
made
have
it
bought
a-
more time for people.
Exactly, and we would have made it more of a pain in the ass for
I'm
them.
not mad at anyone for not showing up, but it is one of those things where it's like eventually we on the left have to get our fucking boots on the ground.
See, this is the thing. I've been talking about this for years.
I know
we
people
have
got
to
work.
organize.
I know people got to work, and I know that's on us for not organizing better. I know there's all kinds of reasons that people don't show up to that stuff. Maybe they're scared. I get it. But in a city of 200,000 people where I've met hundreds of compassionate people,
Yeah.
on the left or not,
Yep.
hundreds that I know personally, where the fuck were you?
Yeah, exactly.
I know some of you were working. I get it. I'm not out here blaming you, but some of you could have come down.
Yeah, a little bit I am, though. A little bit I am.
I'm not naming names because there isn't names to name, but
No.
some of you could have come down.
There's no way that we gave like almost a week's notice.
Yeah.
And we put the call out and
And not just us, but other people in the city too putting that call out.
yeah, exactly. And we were able to get 5 people.
Yeah, eventually more people did come down. It should be, but they were all wobblies for the most part. A few that were sort of affiliated or friends of mine. At one point, we might have had maybe 10 people.
Yeah.
But like,
10 people isn't going to do shit against 25 to 30 cops.
yeah, like I know we only had a few days to do this. I know there's all the excuses in the world, but at the end of the day, the boots have to be on the ground, and this is why.
But this is not just a yesterday problem. This is a problem that is ongoing for the left.
Yeah.
Like, we spend all of our time fucking infighting and virtue signaling and doing whatever the fuck
Playing
that we
identity
can.
politics nonsense, and I'm not against identity politics. Do not take me as one of those white leftists.
But
That's
it's
not what I'm saying.
But it's when in times like this, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, like
you
we-
have to get your boots on the ground and you have to go make the biggest impact that you can. And if we don't get organized and we don't get our fucking boots on the ground, we are going to fail. We're
Yeah.
already failing.
Already failing.
We need to do more.
And like because there's personal differences with people down there that are helping out. Like
Oh, yeah.
Fights and fights and fights.
Yeah.
Again, not naming names, but, there's people that I was working with yesterday that I have had it out with.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the fucking day, they're on your side for this thing.
Yeah,
You can fight about that shit later.
Yeah.
They're here to help right now.
And there
So
are
put
people...
your shit aside and get the fuck out there.
Exactly. It's not important to worry about all of this other petty bullshit. And even if it's not petty, put it aside.
Put it aside.
One common cause that you guys are working together.
In that crisis moment, they're on your side.
Yes, that's right. And there are also people that are hugely problematic. That I wouldn't, I wouldn't hang out with ever.
Yeah.
But also, they're losing their homes, like residents in the encampment.
Oh God, yeah. Don't even get me started on that. I mean, there's people I know that I wouldn't even take down there because
it's not
hear
safe.
something racist and
Yeah.
and I get it, but also like let's deal with their acute problem first, then we'll tackle the problematic
and
behavior.
do you really is it that's the thing that's the hill you're gonna die on is that they're racist.
Yeah. They have no power. They have negative power.
Exactly. They have no rights. Clearly, because they can just get their homes bulldozed.
Like racism is not just prejudice, right? It's prejudice plus power.
Exactly.
So what power do homeless people have?
Zero.
That they're going to be held accountable on their racism. Like, no. I'm sorry, but that factors in the equation.
Yeah, and it becomes a non-issue when that person is clearly in a situation that nobody in the position to judge them on their racism would ever be in.
Yeah, and we were saying this because we've heard from people who have said, I'm not going to go down there and help these people because once I was down there and I heard this.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Maybe stop calling people out on their problems who have literally no other options. And you know what? Fuck it. You're racist. Okay. Like, fuck
cool.
it. Whatever.
But like, so anyway.
Still deserve to be alive.
We haven't even yelled at anyone yet. Let's fucking yell at people.
Okay, so...
Why did this happen? What is it? So this land has been down there, unused.
Yep.
There's been much contention between the city and the various companies that have owned it for 21 years.
TerraCorp that owns it has never had a problem.
Yeah. Auburn Development is the
Auburn
parent
Development.
company. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
the Critch family in London.
Yeah. Well, fuck both of you because you have no idea of the shit that's going down there. Yeah. You have no idea.
And they didn't
never
care.
Spent a day. No, they did not give a shit. All they
the
cared
city
about...
was trying to get them to care, and they didn't give a shit for years.
Yeah,
so why now?
The city had been sending in cleaning companies or whatever to go and clean up and then bill the parent company.
Yeah, and they didn't care
because they were just trying to, get them to notice and be like, well, they care about their pocketbooks, so maybe if we charge them a couple grand to go and clean up, they won't.
So the official line that we heard from bylaws and the police was that there were a lot of complaints, and that spurned the company to actually empower the city to do this. And I don't doubt that there were complaints.
No, I don't doubt that either.
But they've been people living down there for 21 fucking years.
And you know what? The complaints are coming in because of the way that the city and the police skew the information.
Yeah.
Like, of course, yes, I get it. If you have your nice little house in your nice little backyard.
But there's no houses around there.
No, there's nothing
around there.
around
There's that building right beside it.
Yeah. But that's
about it.
If there's like apartment buildings and stuff like that.
There's a house up on the street, and apparently the people who are in those two houses on the Salter Road there are actually really cool and bring them food and shit. So like they're not the ones complaining. Like
I talked to a guy who he does HVAC for like the CBC building or something, and he went off on a rant about how these homeless people go and steal the copper out of his wire and all this other shit. And I'm like,
sure, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure that sucks, but he literally, in the same breath, told me that it was worth the price of a cup of coffee. So what the fuck are you bitching about? Like, what, really?
Yeah.
The guy's like, well, I'll buy you coffee. I'm like, no, you fucking won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
And maybe they don't want coffee. Maybe they want the fucking money.
Or maybe they want drugs so that they don't fucking, don't die from fucking withdrawal. Maybe they do. Who gives a shit?
It's none of your business, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe protect your fucking copper wire better, I guess.
Yeah. Or like maybe like join in the fight against capitalism.
Yeah. There's a way to solve these problems and not be a dick, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, so what I'm getting at is we've talked a lot about gentrification on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the area where a lot of it right now. This seems to be a very heavy focus, the very West End side of Ward 3.
Yes.
where there is at least 3 different housing developments, massive housing developments going.
Yeah.
Not affordable housing.
It's
Fucking
not-
house like condos and shit.
Yeah.
And like new fancy shops. They're renovating that the old former streetcar station and making it like a cool marketplace.
They're spending $7 million on that.
Yeah, but and like it's just so there's just all these things going in these areas, right?
Yep.
And
They're trying to make it pretty.
Yeah, and a month ago we talked on this very podcast about the 16-story towers that were going up right beside this fucking rail cut where the CBC currently sits.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that that's fucking connected to why suddenly this company gives a shit, I got a bridge to sell you.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
holy fuck, obviously it is.
Yeah.
Like this is now the city suddenly gives a shit about these people.
Yeah.
Really, when people are dying of overdoses down there, and like
the cops don't even carry fucking naloxone.
No, they don't. And like Pam Spanish and I went down there one day in the summer, and John, one of the people who lived down there, was telling us that he had to use 6 naloxone kits to save 2 people the previous night.
Yeah.
The night. And like he was asking for more naloxone because they burned through their entire supply, saving 2 people.
Yep.
And like, were the fucking cops or the city, was Reno fucking Bortolan giving a shit about that?
Reno Bortolan
people
does
have
not
died
give a
down
shit
there.
about that. Yeah, absolutely. And they don't give a shit because the people down there are not profitable people. They're considered eyesores.
They were literally funneled down there by the police.
Yeah.
Because it was like a place where they could go where they're out of sight and out of mind. They're not on Willette in front of the businesses.
Yeah.
So police would tell them, hey, go to the Rail Cut by Karen.
And now the police are coming in and telling them that they're going to be arrested if they don't leave.
And destroying their fucking belongings in their homes.
Yeah, full on destroying their
without
belongings.
offering them any kind of fucking solution. Because if it weren't for the people in the community stepping up, they would be sleeping in a different rail cut.
That's right.
And like, there's just no fucking solutions. And Reno, god damn it, Reno.
Reno has never, you know what? If you're going to be a cop or a city councilor, it should be fucking required for you to go and spend a week sleeping outside before you can even think about tabling any sort of policy on homelessness.
He'd have a fucking heart attack and die in the first 3 hours.
Of course he would, and that would be great. But I'm just, I'm
Maybe
just
we
saying.
should encourage him to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, here's the thing. If your constituents are being violently removed from their homes and you're sitting there behind a fucking, not even saying it, but getting someone else to say it online.
That's
'cause
right.
You're too much of a fucking coward to come out and have these opinions yourself. If you're sitting behind that screen and going, the city's doing everything we can, and hey, we gotta do this thing for private property.
Go
blah,
fuck
blah, blah,
yourself.
Then get your fucking ass down there at 6 a.m. with the rest of us and witness it.
Yes.
These are your constituents that are being violently removed. Stand up against the fucking cops. That is your job.
Nobody from city council was down there. Nobody gave a fuck.
No fucking political representatives will ever step foot in a place
Never.
like that.
Never, because
not
then they
even the
have
most
to-
progressive NDP motherfuckers, because they're too goddamn scared.
Exactly, because then they have to face the bullshit policy that they've put in place and the bullshit things that they say all the time about how they care so much about homeless people. No, they fucking don't.
And they
created the fucking homeless
They gotta
people.
look people in the fucking face while they do that to them. That should
Exactly.
be the goddamn requirement.
Exactly.
Because if you're down there and you're sitting beside a woman who's sobbing because the fire department soaked her shit.
Yeah.
And you're sitting down there beside people who like generally are of very sound mind.
Yeah.
Like Daryl, John, and Seth, a few of the other people are usually a pretty sound mind.
Yeah, they
And
are.
they were so shell shocked. They had the fucking 1,000-yard stare, like they had just been bombed. And they're fucking on the verge of tears, and they're actually losing their fucking minds right in front of you, while people are trying to get them to get their shit together,
Yeah.
to take to another shitty place, another
Yeah.
fucking place we're gonna throw them.
that they're not even going to be able to afford long term. They're not even going to be able to afford it long term.
Then if you're gonna sit there and say the city's doing everything you can, then get your fucking ass out of bed, get your ass down there, and look at them in the fucking eye while you do it to them.
Yeah.
That is the least you can fucking do.
And then maybe that would make them consider purchasing a fucking building and just giving it to them for fucking housing. Just affordable housing sometimes means free housing. Just fucking do it, because you clearly don't give a fuck.
Like, how much did the city spend on that shit yesterday? They had
Oh my
fucking
God.
30 goddamn cops down there.
Yeah.
And they had fucking, I know this, that they're probably going to charge the goddamn owners for some
course
of it.
they'll charge
but
them for the fire department,
The city
too.
probably spent enough fucking resources to house at least a few of these people for a few months.
Well, they're going to spend a whole bunch of money on a fucking shelter that looks progressive when they're not even going to attack the root cause of all of the homelessness in Windsor and other fucking cities. Like, everybody has this problem. And city councilors will never, ever look it in the eye and just say, you know what, maybe we can do more. Maybe we can, search deep into the cockles of our hearts and try to fucking have a little bit of compassion for human beings.
It's like Reno's fucking line is, "We'd do more, but the province doesn't do this." So guess what? The province spent more money helping those people yesterday by virtue of family services being funded by them.
That's
so
right.
Doug Ford beat you, dude.
Yeah.
He fucking put more money toward this shit than you did, than your city pledged. Like, where was the fucking, like, this goddamn asinine, like, oh my God, I'm so mad.
I know.
These fucking people, when they literally will tell you with a straight face, "We're doing all we can."
You're fucking not.
What are you doing?
They gave them no options. They didn't even give them the fucking dignity of bringing the goddamn eviction notice with them.
And then the motherfuckers take credit in the media.
Literally, while it's happening. We're serving a diverse community. Go fuck yourselves, because we know that diverse community doesn't involve anybody who's in poverty.
But the media was literally saying that the city found them housing.
That's bullshit.
Tammy, Drew, and Lacey found them housing.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And that's not their fucking job.
No.
It should be noted. They're just people.
They did it because they're people that are fucking having a hard time, and you're supposed to care about your fellow people. Cocksuckers. Fuck, I'm not supposed to say that.
It's okay.
It's not a gay thing.
It's not a gay thing.
Fuck, man.
I'm sure it's wonderful. Sucking cock, that is.
It
sure
is.
It's great. I don't know personally.
No, it's good.
I'm sure it's fun time.
It's good.
It's not what we're saying.
It's not
it's
what we're
divorced
saying.
from the concept.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
Fuck these people.
We're mad.
Fuck Reno, man.
Fuck Reno the hardest.
Yeah, he's the one that could have done the most about
of course
this.
Drew Dilkins is going to honor the police at the same time this has happened. We all know this about Drew Dilkins.
Drew Dilkins is not going to get his fucking hands dirty in dealing with any of that. That's why he has city councilors.
You know
and
what?
Reno should have fucking stepped the fuck up and gone down there to at least say, "I'm so fucking sorry."
You know, and his, next fucking council meeting he goes into and he sees the agenda and he sees like, "Well, we got to debate the curb height over in Walkerville." Fuck that.
Oh, yeah.
You could stand up and say, "Listen, our only priority is solving this fucking humanitarian crisis. And until we do it, everything else is on the back burner." And will he take a lot of lumps for that? Will he get a lot of shit for that?
Yeah, he'll take shit from business owners
you know what?
and things like that.
If you're really the person you fucking claim to be, Reno, you would do that.
If we had more people working with us in solidarity with these homeless people, if we had more people working with us, we could be the ones giving Reno the shit for bringing up curb height when there's a humanitarian crisis.
But you know what?
We could be the ones.
But here's the thing. We're all pretending here that Reno's actually a better person than he is.
He fucking isn't.
He's a piece of shit.
But what
They're
I'm
all
saying
pieces
is that
of shit.
if we give him the loudest amount of shit, then he's going to worry about it making him look really bad. And if we get enough people on board, I mean, I know that we're also not the profitable people in Windsor, but we can be the loudest people in Windsor.
You know what? Like, we've said it on this podcast before, that one of the reasons I'm really happy that we're getting the third host is because he also has way more idea of how to run political campaigns
Maybe
and
he can
elections.
help us actually organize in a smart way.
Yeah, and I'm not an electoral politics guy.
Fuck that.
I know you're not either.
I'm not.
But, like, when it comes to municipal elections, I think there is some leverage points that the left can use.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
I think we ignore it at our peril, frankly. And we get assholes like Reno because we don't fucking run any candidates.
Yeah.
Because we could win.
Well,
you
we
telling
could
me we can't beat
absolutely
this
win.
fucking person? You're telling me we can't beat this piece of shit?
Yeah.
Like,
we can definitely do it. We just need someone that isn't us that can keep their heads cool.
yeah, not us, because this is what we'll be like.
No,
and we're
I
not
know.
getting
It's
elected.
going to be bad. We're not going to get elected.
But we know people who would be very good at this.
Who are on board to run. So why can't we just get that going? Why can't we get that going?
We need to be more organized than we are on that front.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, in a lot of fronts, but that front too.
Yeah.
And
Fuck,
like,
man. The left needs to get their shit together. Guys,
we can beat
come
these
on.
fucking sycophants, and then we'd actually have a voice. Am I saying we're going to tear down capitalism from Windsor? No.
No.
But, like, we could do some shit here. This could be a progressive beacon for the rest of the country, just like any city could be. Any city has the potential to do it.
Absolutely.
If we organize and we fucking put people in power. And even the small leverages of power that we have access to.
Yeah. We could at least make it a little bit better for the people who are living here.
Because, like, the Liberal Party and the NDP and the Conservatives, like, I know that you're not supposed to run with a party at municipal elections. Guess what? All of the major fucking candidates have one of those three parties behind them.
Of course they do.
If not multiple parties behind them. And multiple candidates running against each other, being funded by the same party. So that they cover their bases. That's one thing I learned from this last by-election. Is that that's what happens. That's what fucking happens. And I kind of knew it, but I didn't know the extent of it.
Yeah.
And we have to come up with our own networks of funding, our own networks of outreach. We have to work harder and have more people behind us. But that's not actually that hard to do. Because these people really just kind of mail it in at the end of the day.
Then we have to start doing that. We have to get people who are going to, like, now is the time to start, going ham on this. We got to really get our shit together. Because not only is the bullshit rising, everywhere you go, in the U.S., in Canada, everywhere you go, the homeless problem is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And we're all going to be a part of it eventually.
Yeah, you're damn right we are.
Like, if you think you're immune to it, got news for you. So did all the people we talked to yesterday. Yeah. They never thought they'd be in this position.
Yeah. And when your rent keeps going up and up and up, but your wages don't go up at the same rate, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? You're eventually going to not be able to afford anything. If rent's going up, then the grocery stores are going to be more expensive. Everything's going to start getting more expensive. The one thing that's not going to change at the same rate is your wage. Because your boss doesn't give a fuck about you. The city doesn't give a fuck about you.
No, they don't care.
No, they don't.
They showed that so plainly and clearly yesterday.
Dude, Baldy McFuckface loves doing that shit.
Yeah, it's the clearest example I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of examples of the city not giving a fuck, but they sort of couch it and hide behind
That's right,
progressive rhetoric. Yesterday was the first time I saw, they didn't even try.
No.
Rino was not saying anything public about this.
No, there was no fucks given. Yeah, and when you can't even get, like, I spent so much time trying to talk to these officers who ignored me, wouldn't talk to me at all because, they're busy, they're doing their jobs. No, it's because you have
their fucking ass.
You don't have anything to say. You don't, because you've got to know that what you're doing is bullshit. You've got to know.
I don't know. I think maybe 1 out of 15 cops does.
No, yeah.
But the other 14 are sociopaths that don't give a shit actually enjoy it.
I talked to 10 to 15 cops yesterday. Not one of them. Not one of them.
No, they're not going to send the nice ones. Like, there aren't nice
ones.
Of course
not.
But
No, there are no nice ones.
They're not going to send the ones that might be more willing to be compassionate on some level. They're not going to send those ones down.
You're not going to send the ones that we can bend.
No.
Come on.
They're not sending those ones down.
No.
They're sending the ones that this is what they do.
Yeah.
And they have a relationship with the homeless because they fucking been policing them for years.
Exactly. Man, I'm so pissed.
Like, okay, we have people who listen to this podcast who are friends with Rino. I have so many people in my circle who are friends with Rino. I used to, be on decent terms with the guy. I used to talk to him once in a while. Like, when he owned the restaurant, would he come out to my band shows because he loved my band? Like,
ew.
Yeah, I know, I kind of, whatever. But, because I saw in him, at least at times, and I didn't know him well enough. I didn't know him well enough, but, I had people who I trusted be like, oh, he's a really good guy. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
And I was skeptical, but I was like, oh, whatever. He seems nice. He'll talk to you, But he's not even
bad as, a counselor. He's bad as a fucking person.
As a person.
Yeah.
Like, he's a liberal through and through, and that's a bad thing to be.
It's a bad thing to be.
Is.
But he's also a heartless fuck.
Yeah.
Because he would have done anything, acknowledged it, done anything.
Yeah, contrast how he was so giddy about the building of these towers that are going up next to the cut.
Yep.
Versus what happened when the people who lived there are being forcibly removed.
Yeah.
He spent 3 days in the media with a fucking giant erection talking about how excited he was.
Yeah.
And then the other one, he was totally fucking silent. Yeah. And that tells you right there who he really serves.
Absolutely. He wants to, it's all about gentrification for him. Absolutely, because that's going to make him look, like he's cleaning up this downtown.
For mayor. This motherfucker's going to run for mayor in 2022.
Oh, he absolutely is, yeah.
And he needs to lose.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to lose. I'm more comfortable with a Drew Dilkins, frankly, because I know where he stands on shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying that, but maybe I'm not. I don't know.
It's
harder to organize against someone like Rino.
We also really need to make it a pain in the ass for him to run for mayor.
Yeah, we need to run someone.
Yeah.
Who could actually beat them. Both of them.
Come on, guys.
Derek Bizzo, friend of the show. Please, Derek. You have experience running in politics. There's not a soul I know who wouldn't vote for you.
I will make the dopest shit for you.
We will sell our lives to get you arrested, to get you elected. Maybe it's the same thing.
Maybe both.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm sure they'd be miserable in that role as mayor because it's fucking soul crushing.
But it's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. I'll do all sorts of stuff. I'll make pretty posters. I'll go and talk to people. We'll all go and get together and we'll just make it as easy as possible for you. Just do it,
Yeah, like
please.
the Quebec Solidaire, the shit that I love. We should be following their models.
Absolutely.
'Cause they actually
That's
get
what
elected.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll make your yard signs. I'll
yeah.
do it.
Like I think we talked about it in this podcast before, but they have like they get blank signs, and then when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I'll vote for you," and I want a sign, you have an artist there who then paints you a custom sign.
And
So
it
when you're
looks
driving
beautiful.
you're driving up and down the street, and you see these like kick-ass individual art pieces
Yeah.
as campaign signs. I mean, I know it's such a superficial thing, but it fucking works. That's the shit
It
that
does
works
work.
for people.
And that type of shit is how you bend those the like liberal people who want to be progressive and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's how you win over the rich art fucks. That's how you win over all of the people that are on the fence.
Yeah, the people who are good people, but have
they're
sort
just
of
a little
bought the liberal.
misguided.
They've bought the liberal fucking lie
Yeah.
to this point,
Because
right?
they think that's what's available to them.
Yeah, or maybe they're just not ideological enough because they're too busy fucking working their asses off every day.
I spoke to a dude who was conservative as fuck yesterday.
Yep.
And he like you said, he's a
could change-
leftist in waiting.
Yeah, you could change him.
100%.
That's the person we
that
need to
dude
talk
was
to.
yeah. Anyway,
Fuck me, but we're too busy fighting with each other.
yeah.
So,
So
like-
stop fucking fighting with each other, because I slam that shit down the second that I hear it. You should too.
Like, listen, I've identified as an anarchist. I'm in the IWW. I got my beef with communists. I get it. All
Yeah.
right? But the communists are more on our fucking side than anyone else.
And also,
And you know
let's
what? They're
just
good
sort
people.
that shit out later, man.
Like, honestly, I know people who are part of, like, official communist groups here.
Yeah.
And they're great.
I have a ton of communist friends. I have a ton of communist comrades in Toronto. I have all sorts of ties to them. But the people that I've been talking to, and the people that I know from years ago when I used to be a communist, they understand that now is not the time
Yeah.
to be bickering about our differences in ideology.
And they're also going to be down there with us.
That's the
in
thing.
the fucking cut. When
Oh,
things
man.
get real,
The-
that's where they are.
The comrades in Toronto do not fuck around. They'll be there.
I just...
Let's get our shit together, guys. We have to do this.
it's one of those... Yesterday was one of those things where, like, you see both sides of what humans are capable of.
That's right.
You see the
All at once.
destructive power. You see the fucking disgusting adherence to capital.
Yeah. You definitely see the very clear divide.
Yeah.
And
then,
it's so bad. If I really wish that people would have been there, because
is horrifying.
it was horrible. And honestly,
And the
both
fact that the
Travis
police
and
would
I,
not let witnesses in to see what they were doing.
Yeah.
Family services was allowed in there, but they even tried to stop family services workers from getting in there at one point.
Yeah.
Threatening them with trespassing.
Yeah, they did.
And, like, they eventually let them in. Thank fuck, because there was no one else in there with those people's interest at heart. They were literally
Yeah.
ramming a bulldozer into their camp while they were still in the camp.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Travis and I both
If someone
had
had
to go
been
home.
if someone had
and,
been
like,
run over by the fucking bulldozer,
yeah,
like, what would have happened?
they would have said it was their fault.
Yeah.
What that they had been asked to move.
could have
and
fucking
that-
happened.
or that they couldn't see them.
They
It
didn't give a
definitely
shit.
could have happened.
They didn't give a shit.
No.
This private company, I forget what they were called. It's on the live video.
Yeah.
I got a good thing, MRS or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly what it was. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them for taking on this contract and sending these heartless shitbag workers down there to do this. Because if I worked for that company and they told me that's what I was doing today,
Yeah, I'd walk off the job, man.
nope, not doing that. Find someone else.
Yeah,
No way.
yeah,
I know that it's hard to do for people. I get that.
yeah,
But there's a fucking line somewhere. There has to be a line somewhere.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're all just SS troops in waiting.
yeah. It's all. It can't always be like not a good time to do something. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. And also, I want to say something, because our union is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Shout out IWW.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm
right.
like so proud of us. And the Wobblies that couldn't be there were checking in with us
They were.
all day,
Constantly.
trying to organize amongst themselves, trying to make sure that we had
That
what
were
we
safe.
needed.
Yeah. Yeah, the GDC, the General Defense Committee, which if you're someone out there who's like, I don't know about all this union stuff, I don't know if I want to join a union, join the GDC.
Oh, dude.
The GDC is
yeah.
a sister organization of the IWW. You can in fact have hiring and firing power. You can be a boss.
Yeah, you just can't be a cop.
You can even be a landlord.
Yep.
Can't be a cop or correctional officer. That's it.
The GDC is my shit. Please,
and
come and
not-
join me.
It's not about workplace organizing. It's
No.
about community organizing.
Yeah,
So
if
that's
you-
your jam?
Yeah.
Come
If
on
you don't
out.
want to be as involved in the workplace stuff, and if IWW seems too, air quotes, political to you, that's totally fine. The GDC is boots on the ground. We're sick of your shit. Let's go do something about it.
Yeah. When the Nazis show up, when the fucking
Yeah.
white supremacists show up at City Hall,
We're there.
we're there. We're
Yeah.
making sure that they aren't hurting anybody.
Yeah. I implore you, if you're curious about the GDC, shoot me a message,
Yeah.
email us.
WindsorIWW@gmail. No, yeah, that is the one. WindsorIWW@gmail.com.
Or even this is false podcast at protonmail.com.
That one too. Reach out to us in any way. We have a Facebook page too. We have a website you can go on. You can join right from the website. It'll send an email right to our delegates. We'll get in touch with you.
I'm Evo Bringus on Facebook. Shoot me a message.
Yeah, Travis Frederick. Add me. Fuck it.
Yeah,
That's how we'll promote this shit.
exactly. Like, fuck it.
Because we're like that's the thing.
At
Like
this
we're not
point, like,
we're
we're
not making
shadow
any
banned.
money. We're not making any money on this.
No.
This is not a. I mean, it is a passion project. I think we both like doing it.
Yeah, it's a passion project, but at the same time, we're both passionate about change.
Yeah, we
Like,
want to do this
we-
because we don't have any other outlet.
Exactly. This isn't making us money. We're
No,
just
fuck no,
trying
it's
to
costing us money.
organize. It's definitely costing us money. We're just trying to organize. We're just trying to get the word out so that it's easier for people to hear what's going on, what's actually going on the ground.
Yeah.
I am so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Oh my god.
We had other stuff we were gonna talk about. Bright lights will. That's gonna be an ongoing issue till Christmas. We'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
We were gonna talk about cops murdering people in Toronto and
Oh
in
my
Montreal.
fucking God,
People of
that's-
color. A fucking black trans woman was murdered by the cops in
Yeah.
Toronto the other day.
Yeah.
A black man in Montreal was murdered by the cops. Oh, an American issue, they say.
Yeah, that's bullshit. We're no better. Like, let's not pretend anymore.
We talk about that. We didn't talk about Jeremy Corbyn, our boy,
Oh, I forgot
the
about
absolute
Jeremy
boy,
Corbyn.
the absolute
Corbyn,
boy, getting suspended by his own fucking party for anti-Semitism because he has the audacity of questioning Israel.
To believe that, like, Palestinians are people.
Anyway, we didn't even talk about all that shit because it's just too much.
Dude, honestly, dude, we're still recovering from that shit, man. That's some traumatic shit.
Yeah, I was
Can you imagine-
catatonic for most of the afternoon yesterday.
I
once
went
got
home. I went home and ate the bad food, but I was staring at the wall and just kind of like zoning out.
Yeah,
And I like absentmindedly petting my dog
yeah,
because you and I already. I mean, we already have mental health issues, so
Yeah.
we're kind of just like, oh,
This
this
is
is
why,
a good time
though.
to dissociate.
this is why we have mental health issues because we see this shit
Yeah.
and like. I'd have less mental health issues if more people saw it and fought with us. It'd be easier.
It would be so much easier.
It'd be so
to
much
fight.
easier.
Because at some point, like, a bunch of the wobblies that were there with us yesterday, at some point, each one of us said, "It is so exhausting being this angry and feeling so helpless."
Yeah, and we really do. It feels like even amongst our collective selves, and
Yeah.
I can't tell you the solidarity
Oh,
and that feeling
absolutely.
of solidarity that you get with people when you work with them like this. But like, that's outweighed by seeing people like Daryl and John living in this encampment with that 1,000-yard stare, and not like trying to pack up a tent and they can't because they can't function.
Yeah.
They like because just 5 feet from them is a John Deere tractor ripping through their friend's tent and their belongings.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, just imagine they're at war. And this when we mentioned like the boys in the big twuck. You know the boys in the big twonka twuck.
A big twuck.
What they got a big
I partially
wheels?
expected it to be there yesterday.
Yeah, me too. But like this is why when we say, are they at war with us? The answer is yes.
It's absolutely yes.
And that was an act of war yesterday. It's not
Yes.
the traditional act of war that we might think about.
The residents down there already think that it's war.
Yeah.
Because
they
they've
absolutely
been,
do.
I talked to a dude yesterday that was like, "We'll burn this motherfucker down," and I'm
That's
like,
the
you know
thing.
what?
Like, we'll help you.
Fucking do it.
Let's
Let's go.
And like that needs to be part of it too. We
Yeah.
can't lose touch with the people in the new residents. I'm gonna make a point of going there a few times a week,
Yeah, we need to do follow-ups.
and like I want to encourage them to fucking do something about this.
Yep.
And like we need to help that. We are on the same fucking side as these people.
We have more power than those people do, and we need to use the power that we do have to help the people that have no power.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
and
we will
empower
never
their
accomplish
voices.
anything.
Drive,
That's right.
Like bring their voices up, amplify their voices.
Yeah, we can't take the we can't take the lead on this. This needs to be people who are living the life.
And they are capable, and they are angry,
They're fucking angry.
but they have no power.
to watch
That's the problem.
To watch people down there who normally are fired up and ready to go, to watch them down there just completely defeated is absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah. And if Reno had the fucking cojones to get his coward ass down there to watch, I'm not even asking him to do anything else. But
Just
he had
be
the
there.
fucking decency to be there and see it.
Just be there.
If he's not a
Fucking
sociopath,
shame on that day. Oh God.
if he's not a sociopath, then seeing that will make you change the way you govern. There's just no way to put it other than that. Unless
No.
he is a complete sociopath, then seeing, which he might be,
I was like, I gave you that look, like,
he might be. But I would suggest that the reason he's not down there, the reason he refuses to actually engage with these issues in a meaningful way is because
it'll be
he's
too hard for him.
terrified.
Yeah, it'll be too hard for him.
He's terrified that it will break his brain, and he doesn't want that to happen.
He's gonna have to start questioning the things that he does and the things that he supports if he goes down there and watches the absolute chaos that he's causing.
Yeah. And like let's
Fuck
elect
Reno.
some actually good people who are qualified for these positions instead of people who are good at cooking rice balls and so they get to fucking be counselors.
You know
I'm
what?
fucking tired of that shit.
I know. And also I'm upset a little bit that I've never had the rice balls.
They're good, I guess. Fuck. All right, let's get let's get out of here. I can't do it anymore. Let's just.
No, I know. I'm
let's
fucking
go.
exhausted.
But this is coming out later than normal. I don't know. Let's just do this when we feel like doing it. Let's just come back and record on Monday. If we,
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? Let's just keep doing this.
We're never gonna stop.
We're gonna have a third person. It's gonna
Oh
be great.
fuck, that's gonna be
I'm
great.
so excited. He's so excited about it.
I feel like I'm gonna move more into the role of dick and fart jokes at this point.
Oh, good. That we need that. But he's the smart one. So
Yeah, I
bring him
know.
on 'cause
I know.
He's gonna
I'm
be
like
so much smarter than
thank
us.
God. Half the smarts aren't relying on me.
Like I know.
You got like I'm a dumpster leftist, guys, man. Like I'm not like an academia leftist. I'm a straight up
and I'm
garbage
still
kid
a dumbass.
leftist.
I have like 15 years of academic training in this shit, and I'm a dumb fuck.
Oh, you are
So, like,
such a dumb fuck.
the dumbest. So like having this person, I don't want to say the name just in case it falls through. I don't want to like be associated with it and then not want to do it. I'm pretty sure they're in, but
I'll be so sad.
but he's so much smarter than us. He's got such a better political brain. He understands like the sort of wonky mechanics of Canadian politics
Yeah.
that like I try to understand it and then I just get bored.
I gotta tell you, I just stopped trying even because in my heart of hearts, I know the way things are, and that currently to me is what matters. I mean, theory is really, really important, but
Well, this is more political science theory.
yeah,
He is more
I
of a
don't know
student of
that
political
shit.
science.
I don't know that shit.
I'm a sociologist, man. I
Dude,
don't deal with that shit.
I'm a fucking woodworker, man.
Yeah.
I'm a woodworker and an artist. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. You have
And-
so many talents.
Crazy. Woodworker and an artist and tattooist and soap maker and embroidery person.
You do
and
all this
like,
shit. You're like a fucking...
roller derby master. No, I'm not. Don't ever look.
You're retired now. The concussion's caught up with you.
Yeah, I'm a concussion. They'll get ya.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, okay. Bye. Every time. It makes me laugh. So Travis is letting me do the outro for the first time, and so this is going to be super awkward, but I'm going to try to make it better by using my advertising voice. So, okay. So that was the episode for this week. Thanks so much for coming out. Thanks for listening. Feel free to follow us on all of our social media platforms at This Is False Pod. Travis, stop laughing. You can reach us by email at thisisfalsepodcast at protonmail.com. Travis, shut up! And you can reach the Windsor IWW at windsoriww@gmail.com. What else do I say? That's it. I'm done. Fuck the police.